Watch 1226 on your side, wherever you go.
On your side, this is News 12 First at 5.
Her life was devastated after a freak accident crushed her vertebra and shattered her chances of ever walking again. How she overcame those odds. But first up this evening, a difficult day for the two-state, both Georgia and South Carolina, reporting their deadliest single-day coronavirus numbers yet.
Important to note, while DHEC releases their numbers daily, they are catching up. In some cases, have not been counted from yesterday and today quite yet. But here are the latest numbers that we have so far. In the Palmetto State, 93 more people died. The previous record was 55 back in July. Case numbers did take a dip, though, with just over 1,800 new cases. Hospitalization still a big concern. 84% of hospital beds being used, including 82% of ICU beds. 97% of beds in Aiken County are full right now. So they only have 5 beds and 1 ICU bed available in the county.
In Georgia, also the deadliest day since the pandemic began. 159 people died from COVID. In the last 4 days, 582 people have died from COVID in Georgia. Cases also up in the state, reporting over 7,300 cases. Richmond County recorded 171 cases. Columbia County, 82, while 315 people were hospitalized today. Be patient. That's the message South Carolina DHEC is telling the state after multiple issues with people setting up those appointments to get a vaccine. The agency says right now 177 sites are giving the vaccine, with another nearly 900 waiting to be activated. The state is getting 63,000 doses a week. The state says they're giving out vaccines as fast as they can. The issues with many facilities right now is they simply don't have more, or they're all booked up. Starting next week, rural area seniors can get the vaccine at retail pharmacies. A statewide appointment system is being worked on now, but won't be available for the next few weeks. In Georgia, big development today, Kroger and Publix now offering free COVID vaccines at some of those stores in our area. We're going to have more information on that in the next half hour.
Imagine relaxing, just tanning in your own front yard when suddenly your entire life changes forever. That's what happened to a local woman after what she calls a freak accident.
Doctors told her she would never walk again. Not only did she defy the odds, as Brady Travel tells us, she's now dedicating her life to serving the community.
Amber Hendricks was told she may never walk again. Back in 2016, she was tanning in her front yard, and then she was hit by a car. Her life changed forever. EMS crews found her stuck under the car about 30 feet away. They rushed her into AU Health's trauma unit. Nerve damage, a crushed vertebrae. She endured multiple surgeries. Even part of her nervous system was reconstructed. Today, not only can she walk, she can run. She told me she works out 5 to 6 times a week. And after her rehab, she was so inspired that she pursued a nursing degree at AU. And now at age 24, Amber Hendricks is now an OR nurse at AU Health.
I've recovered so well that it's kind of hard to believe that it was as bad as it was, because I know what it's like to wake up in a hospital bed every morning. I just feel so much for every patient I have, because I've been there.
As if this story wasn't crazy enough. Coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock, you'll hear from the surgeon who helped save Amber. And guess what? They now work together. Reporting in Augusta, Brady Trapnell on your side.
Just incredible, her recovery. I can't wait to hear more about it.
Yeah, congratulations to Amber and her physical therapist. What a team she had to work with. Boy, she looks like she never even had the accident.
It's crazy, yeah.
Looking forward to part 2 from Brady. Let's have a look outside. The Grovetown camera looking good on a Friday afternoon. And if you don't mind cold weather, you'll love the weekend, too.
Exactly right, Richard. Not too bad for the weekend. Just going to be a little bit windy and definitely on the cold side, especially for your Saturday. This afternoon is not too bad. As soon as those clouds broke up, we did reach the mid to low 50s across the board this afternoon again. And those winds aren't too breezy now. Actually, generally on the lighter side, especially out at Bushfield and Danielfield as well. But as we head into our Saturday, those winds will definitely be picking up. Here's a look back over at Grovetown. You can see some blue sky out there, but hanging on to a few clouds. We're expecting mostly clear conditions this evening, so no rain in the forecast if you have plans to step out. It is going to be on the cool side, though, expecting those temps down into the mid to low 40s as we head towards midnight. Now, by tomorrow morning, going to bottom out into the mid 30s, but when you factor in the wind, likely going to feel like the 20s in a few spots. This is the last little bit of rain now moving out of Van Buren County. Just a light shower over Earhart that is moving out towards the east, and we should be done with the rain for the rest of today. But this is all thanks to a good old-fashioned mid-latitude cyclone. This is textbook stuff, folks. All this snowfall across Missouri, Nebraska, portions of Kansas. The system is just gradually going to be moving off towards the east. We're done with the precipitation, but we are going to see some windy conditions on the backside of this front for our Saturday. So in the full forecast, we'll take a look at those wind advisories, those temps for the weekend, but we are finally expecting to warm up again by next week. All that in just a little bit.
Just a look at some of the photos from the
The Edgefield community gathering today to support the family of Ryan White and to honor that 16-year-old baseball star. This afternoon, the community came out to Strom Thurmond High School, sharing their memories of Ryan and grieving together as everyone deals with this loss. Coming up here in the next half hour, we're going to get a chance to hear from Ryan's friends about that teenager's legacy. Wilkes County Schools extending their Learn From Home curriculum. They've seen a rise in cases in that county, so students will continue learning from home January 19th through the 22nd. The plan is to return to face-to-face learning January 25th. Students who need packets can pick them up on January the 9th from noon until 3.
Governor Kemp, along with a host of other state leaders, celebrated the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at the Capitol today. Dr. King's nephew brought attention to King's ultimate message to protest and make change peacefully.
Martin Luther King Jr. taught this country his greatest gift was how to protest nonviolently.
Dr. King never gave up on his dream, grounded in knowledge that he fought for something much bigger than one man or one movement.
The late Dr. King would have been 92 years old today. And to honor his life and legacy, the Burke County Sheriff's Office hosting an MLK Peace and Unity Parade tomorrow. Lineup time, 11:15. The parade starts at noon at the fairgrounds in Waynesboro. Officials want to bridge the gap between law enforcement and the community. Dr. King's birthday will be celebrated nationally on Monday. Well, the Lucy Craft Laney Museum has become a champion for Black history here in Augusta, and one woman who helped make it what it is today is stepping down after a long, long time. We're going to tell you more about her legacy coming up.
And we are expecting a chilly and gusty Saturday with late wind advisories in effect tomorrow. Look at that full forecast next.
You own the finest in men's clothing.
Law enforcement agencies in charge of the State House and the surrounding area say they have all their resources at the ready in case of any unrest or out-of-hand protests in the next few days. But are agencies expecting any violence? State House reporter Adam Mincer joins us now live from the State House. So, Adam, what are you seeing? What are you hearing?
Yeah, right now, every law enforcement agency I've spoke to has said there is no credible threat to the South Carolina State House. They tell me that they are still, though, on high alert, doing everything they can just in case. So right now, there's barriers at the bottom of the State House steps. Officials tell me that's a little bit of a larger perimeter than they're used to holding on a typical weekend. And also, of course, increased law enforcement both inside and outside the building itself. Now, I had the chance to speak one-on-one with the chief in charge of safety and security for the State House grounds. He explained to me what's on his radar.
I believe we have 2 scheduled events, one on Sunday, one on Wednesday. Other than that, we have just the general threat from the FBI or the general statement from the FBI on potential of armed protest around the country and here in Columbia.
So I've also reached out to groups and organizations in the area to see what they're doing to prepare for the next 5 days. A spokesperson for the University of South Carolina said they've received no reports or law enforcement intelligence of any threats. Now, the State National Guard is on standby, but has not received any requests for support. And then the State Senate, the people that actually work in that building behind me, they're going to be working from home for most of next week, and they're not in today. So that building is going to be pretty empty for the next 5 days in anticipation of any threats that could be coming. But of course, law enforcement really emphasizing no credible threats to the University of South Carolina nearby or any of these businesses in downtown Columbia.
All right, Adam Mincer.
Reporting live from Columbia, Adam Mincer on your side.
All right, thank you for that, Adam. And officials do say they'll make sure to protect anyone lawfully expressing their First Amendment rights at any protest this week.
Also today, Augusta is filled with history and historical icons, including the Lucy Craft Laney Museum. Now one woman who's been there since the beginning is saying goodbye.
After more than a quarter of a century, she feels it's time. Our Tradisha Woodard talks with her and shares her legacy.
history and culture. Augusta is home to many local historical figures and legends like James Brown and Lucy Craft Laney.
This is a man's world. They love Miss Laney.
But it's people like Miss Christine Miller Betts who help keep the history alive.
And when I started talking about let's call it a museum, they helped in any way that they possibly could.
She was there the moment the museum unfolded and helped flourish a tiny house museum to a significant Black history destination right in the South.
First, we only had a very small area. When we decided that we wanted to buy Miss Laney's home, we didn't have any money.
26 years later, and now she's looking at retirement. But she says even that won't keep her away from educating the community.
Now we hear a little bit.
She says she hopes the museum continues to serve and educate, especially for the one group she'll miss the most, the kids.
Children are my favorite. All you have to do is listen, and they learn so very much.
As a thank you for her service, she was honored with this gallery stretch canvas, a reminder of her achievements impacting the generations to come. Tradisha Woodard, on your side.
Congratulations to Christine Miller Betts after a great run. She's the kind of person where you just feel good being around.
And she has influenced so many kids out there. Her legacy reaches far. And there's going to be a special virtual event this Sunday on the Laney Museum's YouTube channel and Facebook page to honor her achievements. So something to check out with the kids. Taking a look out over downtown Augusta, a rainy, kind of yucky day turned into a pretty decent afternoon, Riley.
Yeah, looking like a fantastic sunset for us over the Savannah River here. Taking a look at it, courtesy of EarthCam. Traffic moving smoothly over the river this afternoon. And yes, as soon as that cloud cover moved out, we actually did warm up into the mid-50s. Still at 55 here in Augusta. Those winds not too windy whatsoever currently, but as we head into tomorrow, those winds will be picking up. Low temperatures by tomorrow morning expected to be in the mid-30s for most of us. We are expecting mostly clear skies through this evening, but by tomorrow morning, we likely will bring back a few clouds. And staying with those partly cloudy skies through most of the day on Saturday, the 50-degree high tomorrow doesn't look too chilly, but that's only going to briefly be hit. Most of us will stay in the 40s all afternoon, and when you factor in those west winds between 15 to 20, most likely seeing wind chills in the 30s and 40s most of the day tomorrow. With those gusty conditions, the National Weather Service did put all our area lakes underneath a lake wind advisory. That does include Clarks Hill, Lake Murray, and any other lakes across most of our central Savannah River area counties. Those west winds going to be pumping. Could see some gusts up to 30. Definitely not ideal boating conditions for your Saturday. Those winds not expected to be really picking up Saturday until we get to around midday into the afternoon. Sustained winds between 15 to 20, so you'll definitely notice those trees swaying around and give those high-profile vehicles on the interstate a little bit extra room as well. It kind of moves them around a little bit. For our Sunday, we're not expecting as breezy of a day, but still keeping them between 8 to 12, so not calm by any means. And then on Monday, for our MLK Monday, we are expecting another front to move through. This front should be dry for us, likely just going to kick up those winds out of the west between 10 to 15 as we head later into Monday afternoon. But for the weekend, not looking too bad. Just going to be a little bit on the cool side, especially for your Saturday. Sunday morning low temperature is likely going to be dipping down into the 20s. But afternoon temperatures for your Sunday do look a little bit warmer for us. But all this cold air is actually thanks to the upper levels of our atmosphere. We have a big upper level trough that's digging across the southeast as we roll into the weekend. So it's bringing that cool polar air with it. So that's why temperature is going to be pretty chilly for our Saturday. But as we roll into next week, our upper level pattern is expecting to flatten out. So that's going to keep that cold air a little bit further north. So by the time we get to around Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, those high temperatures are expected to be closer to the 60s and finally getting back above average for us. But until then, temps expected to stay on the cool side through the weekend. By MLK Monday, we are expecting sunshine, a little bit of a breeze, but at least those temperatures do warm up a tad. And then we're talking about the 60s for the rest of next week.
Spreading smiles and warmth this winter. That is the goal for a group in Savannah. Find out how they plan to do it. Coming up.
Lease the 2021 ES350 for $339 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Hundreds of kids in Savannah will have a new winter coat just in time for a really cold weekend.
That's all thanks to a kids' coat drive held for the first time this year by local groups and businesses. Tim Guidera talked to organizers about what this means to them.
Michael Hamilton saw the load of coats packed into every corner of his car and knew what the reaction would be when he returned to the Frank Callen Boys and Girls Club with them.
82 kids that come every day for e-virtual learning, and right now when I pull up, they're gonna be looking out the window. They're gonna see them. They may run out of class and just come on downstairs and just be waiting at the door, smiling and happy, just cheerful, like another Christmas day.
The Callen Club was the first organization in a 4-county area to receive a donation through Kennedy's Coats for Kids, a coat drive held for the first time this year by Kennedy's Heating and Air in partnership with the United Way of the Coastal Empire. In more than a month of collections at drop-off points, including WTOC, the drive yielded 1,000 coats that will now be distributed through local church and youth organizations to families in need.
Very inspiring, I would say. Especially in a year that's been so difficult, to see the city and the counties respond like they have, it's been amazing.
Well, the timing is perfect, isn't it? It is really cold. Families need this bit of help. Children need these warm coats.
COVID and all the restaurant closures and that kind of thing. So I see a tremendous need, and like I said, the response has just been tremendous.
The first coats went out to the community Wednesday. 220 packed into a car headed back to the Effingham Service Center, which will provide them to families that request one. And already this week, Hamilton has seen the need for the 150 coats that went to the Callen Club.
I've seen one kid, he came this morning just with a little t-shirt on and didn't have a jacket. So it's going to do him good. He's probably going to grab the first 2 coats you see.
Soon, similarly warming stories will be heard all across Chatham, Effingham, Bryan, and Liberty counties.
It's inspiring. It is what we hope everyone will try to do. How can we make a difference, a positive difference?
It's been a cold winter. This weekend is going to be really cold, and so I think it's just in time.
It's true in Savannah. It's true here, too. It's also a great reminder to look in your closet and donate the coats that you're not using.
Absolutely. Those kids could certainly use them. And Kennedy's Coats for Kids is already decided. They're going to be back up and running for another coat drive next year. But Riley, will we need the coats here this weekend?
Most definitely, especially in the morning hours, both Saturday and Sunday, going to be a little bit cooler for us. Have a look at that forecast one last time. Coming up. Expert.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, what are you waiting for?
Call George Sink Injury Lawyers at all nines now.
The sooner you call, the sooner they can help.
George Sink Injury Lawyers has the experience to help you get your money fast. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call all nines.
Like and follow News 1226 on Facebook for the latest up-to-date coverage near you.
Mostly clear skies expected this evening through most of tonight. That will allow our temperatures to cool off down to the mid to low 30s by early tomorrow morning. That wind is going to start howling tomorrow. We're expecting those gusts potentially up to 30, and we are expecting a few clouds to be filtering through during the day Saturday. Those high temperatures going to be on the chilly side. Most spots staying in the 40s for highs tomorrow. Heading into Sunday morning, we're expecting to wake up below freezing in many spots, likely down to the low 30s and upper 20s. As we roll into Sunday afternoon, we are expecting a few clouds once again. We'll call it partly cloudy, but at least those temperatures do look a little bit warmer by the time we get to Sunday afternoon. And we'll continue that trend into next week. That is the good news. We're just going to be on a warming trend past Saturday. Should be seeing the 60s again by Tuesday, and then we'll continue the mid-60s all the way through most of next week.
Riley, thanks. First at 5 continues right here in 3 minutes. We're going to hear from friends of Brian White, the teenager who died after a tragic car crash over the weekend. That and much more local news just ahead after this break.